I'd like to call the December the 13th meeting to order. Appreciate everybody coming. The approval agenda, I need to add a 19H for air compressor for water department. That being said, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I got a motion by Bo and second by Danny. Any discussion? Aye.
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 Next is approval of the minutes. We had 11:8, 11:9, 11:15, and 11:22. I need a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Danny, second by Keith. Any discussion? Bo?
Aye.
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 Aye. We'll stand for the pledge, and Bo, will you lead us?
I will.
Next up's Chairman's report. This past month, or the month of November, we had 305 fire department calls. We had 3,788 sheriff office calls, and all the commissioners would like to wish everybody a happy, or good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll really get it cranked up again first of the year. So, but right now, something we don't get to do a whole lot, but we've got a lot of young folks here tonight that have got some pretty prestigious wins. So with that being said, commissioners, you want to go down here and we'll bring them up here. First one we got is, we've got a world record holder for the bench press and deadlift, and his name is Taylor Cheek. Will you come up and good job. Come around here. Don't beat me up though. Congratulations. Good job. Next up, we've got people that went to the National FFA Convention, and they were national winners on forestry team. And it's a pretty big honor. I don't know if we've ever had national first place winners, have we? I know it took a lot of them before Scott Woodley, but this time we'd like to recognize state champions, national champions. Eighth overall in the nation is Luke Jackson. Good job. Well, you can do individual and then we'll do a group. Yep, and, one that, I guess attended the decent was Kit Jackson. Jackson did a good job, old man.
You can't see us, we can't see you. 3, 2, 3.
Jason, you come on up front, you close it.
It's good.
No. I tried, Jason.
Next up is, Ag Mechanics, and these guys did really good. First one up, got 7th place in the nation, Grayson Seegers.
Are you doing those in order, Louise?
Yep.
I'll need that. 1, 2, 3. 2.
The next one got, he was tied with 3rd of the nation, Luke Edwards. And the one he tied with was David Adams.
Is that within mechanics, you say?
Ag Mechanics. Runs in the blood, I
1,
guess.
2, 3.
And the one that got, 2nd in the nation was Matthew Anderson. Go, man. And the advisor, believe it or not, was Chris Crum.
Guys, tell me pull it off. We pull all in?
Yeah.
Y'all line up across, right here. Cover all the hay.
Hold it up.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Read the paper, there's some team, one, something in the state.
ENR team.
You move that back now. All right.
Oh, yeah, y'all, unless y'all just stay.
Y'all want to stay, you're welcome to stay, but you don't.
You may get bored.
I'll get bored. Thank you.
Next up is public hearing, little ground rules. The fourth side will be able to get up and give their presentation. Then we will have if anybody is against it, they will have a 1.5 minutes to speak per person. And then that's the ones that are for it. Then the ones that are against it, we'll have a minute and a half per person, and then you'll be able to rebuttal if anybody comes up against. So at this time, I will close the regular meeting, open it up for a public hearing, and I'll turn it over to Carrie Fincannon for what the recommendation of the planning board was.
Thank you. A conditional use application has been submitted to the Planning and Zoning Office by Del Lago Ventures Incorporated for racetrack expanded diesel option to be located at map and parcel B54D 059 and B54D 060, 128 and 149 Stephen B. Tanger Boulevard, Commerce, Georgia. The recommendation of the Planning Commission is to approve the conditional use with the following conditions. 1, no exit signs shall be posted at the entrances to contain traffic flow. 2, there shall be no further expansion beyond the proposed 4 islands. 3, there shall be a sign in place prohibiting the fueling of tractor trailers. 4, there shall be no bathhouses, no weighing scales, and no parking spaces in the new area. 5, all unused acreage shall be properly landscaped and maintained. And 6, project coordinator and team shall remain in contact and in compliance with GDOT during roadway transition.
Thank you, ma'am. Would y'all like to come up and present?
Good evening, all.
Evening.
Thank you for allowing us to speak. My name is Roshi Craven. I'm a project manager with Racetrack. My address is 200 Galleria Parkway, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, 30339. This is John Preedy.
John Preedy, I'm a director of real estate at Racetrack, same address as Roshi.
We are proposing to add 4 fueling positions to the back of our existing store at the parcels that were mentioned. Currently, the property that's under contract has a abandoned hotel that we have put under contract and hold any kind of further construction from going forward until we finish our zoning hearing. We are proposing for the new canopy to have a Racetrack logo, canopy interior lighting, security cameras. We will have site area lighting, access for trucks, and we'll be adding stairs, ADA ramp, and site landscaping. Based on the recommendations and the conditions that were provided, we feel that we can comply with all of these 6 conditions, except for number 3. We would like to remove that condition if possible, and but continue with the other 5.
Would you be willing to put up a sign that has 10-wheel or less?
So our site, the reason we came up with the design of having this diesel canopy in the back was because the current site is so crowded and the traffic flow is very uncomfortable. And we were planning on having the truck separated from the front canopy. So 10 wheels is basically our fuel truck is going to be a 10-wheeler, and I think emergency trucks also will be considered 10 wheels. So we would really like to just remove this condition altogether.
But will the only vehicles coming in there, single axle vehicles, of course, they'll be pulling a trailer, because I think that's what you'd indicated before. There would
Correct.
not be 18-wheelers in there. Beside the one, we understand you got to pull one in there to drop the fuel off inside there.
John Preedy. So we have respectfully requested the removal of that condition because that condition really cannot be regulated. It's an open environment, it's an open driveway, and we can't, it's virtually impossible to we can't regulate the front canopy for any particular type of cars. Same thing for the rear canopy, because it is going to be a commercial, it is for the purpose of fueling commercial vehicles. There will be diesel, it's all diesel fueling. So it can't be regulated against let's say 18-wheel, now this will not be a truck stop in any way, shape, or form. It is a fueling center for commercial vehicles. There's no showers, as the conditions showed, and we're perfectly willing to comply with all that. We have no intention of building a truck center. A truck center has, similar to the TA, we have nothing like that. This is a fueling canopy for commercial vehicles only. There won't be showers, there won't be any parking. It will be a very designed where commercial vehicles can enter the lot, fuel, and leave. And the environment is a very flow-through type of environment. It is not, there's no room on the site plan for any type of overnight parking or long-term resting. A truck driver may come in and grab a soda and leave, but it is not designed at all for any type of longer-term arrangement for those trucks to stay on the lot. It is a flow-through type of situation.
Well, how will you stop an 18-wheeler? How could you stop an 18-wheeler from coming in there?
We can't. We can't.
It's not enforceable.
But what, my question is to you, you guys racetrack, y'all don't own no other facility that caters to long time parking, showers, a truck stop, per se, facility. All y'all doing is just creating, correct me if I'm wrong, environment for the guys with landscape trailers like you cow trailers, and 18-wheeler, need to get fuel, get it, go.
And go. Yes, sir.
Correct, this is not a truck stop, there's no
Exactly
scale,
right.
there is no parking.
Truck,
Anyway, most of the people that buy fuel from companies that, where they can get their discounts from, and you guys don't offer no discounts, such as, say for a trucking company, that would be where y'all fueling places.
that's correct. Our environment is very, very different. And so this is, as you mentioned, it's designed where the trucks, any size truck can come in, landscape trucks, right now, our store has a lot of commercial vehicles that really clog up that front. It'll be a number of those type of trucks as well as any other type of commercial truck that can pull in. And we've worked with Georgia Department of Transportation on the access plan. We met with them last week, and I think we have a great plan worked out with them.
Do y'all have a drawing or anything
Yes,
showing?
got one.
We had submitted our site plan with our application. I can show you what we have, a couple of drawings.
Yes, that's good.
But, I think what he was asking, drawing, you talking with the DOT.
Right.
We've got what y'all submitted.
I think that's,
I've got a small one back there in the
For
office.
an as-built.
yeah,
In
we
my
don't
office.
have the actual DOT drawings with us, but
Of the DOT, you want me to go get it?
You look at it,
Because they are, well, DOT's gonna do what DOT's gonna do, but the plan, the most recent submittal was that they were gonna leave a cut right there and the red light in there. So,
The current,
correct. So the plan for the DOT on the highway is,
show them.
I think they have this one. Is to add a traffic signal at the doorway. But
So-
no traffic signal on Tanger. I think that was one of the questions that came up last time.
so you got basically one way in and two ways out.
And
Correct.
both, that entrance.
basically, you're going north, you're gonna go up Tanger, and if you're gonna go south,
You're
you're
gonna
gonna
go
go
Tanger.
frontage road and then go out.
And our canopy will have exit only on the front, so when they pull in from Tanger, they'll see that that's the entrance, but if they pull in from the other side, they'll see that it's exit only, so they'll have to use the top access to circle back in. And as you can see, anywhere that's white on this site plan, that's the concrete paved areas, and the rest of it would be landscaped, so there's no additional parking. There is existing parking with IHOP. That's a parking easement. We're not making any changes to that, but the rest of the site will be landscape, mostly sod.
I don't know, because that's gonna be a lot of, if 18-wheelers are coming, they're gonna be turning off of 441 on to Tanger at that intersection, coming in, going and turning and coming back out there, is the way I look at that. Is that correct?
Correct, so they'll be coming in from the first access,
Yeah.
turning in, and
Well, they'll
then,
turn in on Tanger and then turn in on the first access and then go out on the second access.
But I thought this was for 10-wheel or less,
See,
pulling the trailers, not for
My-
tractor trailers.
see,
Well, they said they would track the trailer.
but our
Key
fuel truck is,
a
Has to be
lot,
Your
a
fueling
lot,
will be.
a lot of your larger companies, they do have discounts, but we also have a lot of independent logging companies, trucking companies around here that will wear y'all out there with tractor trailers because your fuel is so much cheaper. And it's gonna bottleneck, I feel like, that intersection, something awful.
And another question I'd had, on the original letter, y'all were asking for 3 diesel fueling positions. And now 4. It says 3 right here.
There's 3 full lanes, if you refer to the site plan. There's 3 full lanes, and if you look at the one that's closest to our existing store, that's considered a half of a lane. So there, it's a
So it's
lane.
3
that
and a
can-
half.
Well,
So it's a half of a lane, so you can't fuel on the other side of the
But
dispenser.
I was just going by what I'd read on
Yes,
the
sir.
original letter, and it said
Okay.
3 diesel fueling positions. So,
Like you said.
and then I saw 4
10-wheels or
when you'd gone to the planning commission. So I just want,
34, Danny, they got a pretty good shot of it right there. On 34, on that,
yeah,
page 34, look at it,
got a real good shot of it.
yeah, I can see that.
half the one.
So we feel with the amount of trucks, and we've tried to address this, right now, there's an average of 2,000 to 2,500 trucks of various kinds that are out on 441. We service, the way that Racetrack services any vehicle, whether it's commercial or private, is we pull people in from the road that are already there. In fact, there's only I believe it's 7% of our customers, and we've done all kinds of studies that show us this, about 7% of our customers actually will have make it a destination to go fuel. It's the same thing that we found with trucks and as with cars. A very small percentage of the cars and trucks, the vehicles that are in front of any of our sites, are actually there as a destination. So in other words, the traffic is already there in front, and we're just making it convenient for people to come in off of the road, and that's commercial vehicles as well as cars. So we've done studies with this site plan to ensure that there's no bottlenecks, and we've talked to Georgia Department of Transportation as they're doing their planning for 441, and we've done truck studies. We've showed them to GDOT. The last thing we want is bottleneck of traffic. What we're trying to do is relieve the bottleneck that's on our front canopy primarily, and we don't believe that because of the timing of the lights, and there will be a light that will be installed at Tanger Boulevard that will provide that directional left-hand turn northbound into our property. And so that light will be timed so that trucks can make a right-hand turn to continue to the interstate. And we feel like it's going to be a good fluid motion.
Well, on the original plans with the DOT coming down 441, there was gonna be a median across there, and going into Tanger Boulevard was gonna be a right turn in and a right turn out.
Turn out.
So that has changed now with the DOT?
They've got to cut in there and they're gonna leave the light, is what the last plan we got. Because me and Aaron went through it and there was a bigger copy of it, but But now I'm kind of confused because at the planning, you said it was catering towards 10-wheel or less. And that could be, you know, somebody with a truck, with a flatbed trailer, cattle trailer, or a box truck. And now what I'm hearing is,
Or hauling gravel even.
yeah, our dump truck or something like that. But now what I'm hearing is 18-wheelers.
No, sir. I just want to clarify, because you have made respectfully, you have made a comment about signing that would only be 10 wheels or less. And as part of our reasoning that we're providing to say that we can't control who goes there. It could be a semi, it could be a box truck, it could be a landscape truck. Whatever commercial vehicle needs fuel, we want to be able to provide that to them. And we can't regulate who goes into the canopy. So we're not saying that we're going to be promoting usage for semis. This is a very, very small station. It's a very small, a very small diesel canopy. If we wanted to promote, let's say, a truck center with 4 semis, we'd go up the street, move our store, go a little with land that's available a little north and buy 10 acres and build a big giant truck center. That way they could park and they could rest and all that. We don't want to do that. We want just simply a place where all commercial vehicles can fuel. And so there is no emphasis on one type of truck or another. It's mainly for all vehicles. But as Roshi said, the original thought behind this was to relieve our front canopy because it is so congested with trucks. We would like to be able to relieve that congestion up front by placing the canopy in the back for diesel. And we use high flow dispensers, so the fueling for whatever truck is there is very quick, so they can get in and out very quickly.
But I go back to what was proposed last week, was that it was, and it was gonna be 10-wheel or less. And I understand you can put up a sign and people are not always gonna follow it. It's not like you're gonna get shut down if some four-wheeler, if some 18-wheeler goes in there. It's not, but I think our concern is tractor-trailer traffic turning in there. It's not necessarily box trucks, dump trucks, or, you know, somebody with a flatbed or a cattle trailer on there. That's not really our concern. It's starting to get the tractor-trailers start pumping in there, and they're ended up in there more than your box trucks are.
And
So all we're trying to do is put a signage to discourage tractor-trailers from coming in there, because if you don't put a sign up there and they can't get out at TA, they're gonna come right there if it takes them 15 extra minutes.
What would be, if I can ask the board, what would be the enforcement of that from the county's perspective?
There would not be any enforcement.
If you got one or two every now and then comes in there, that'd be one thing, but, you know, if it ends up being you pull up in there every day and there's nothing but 18-wheelers in there, then that's not what was proposed to the planning board. You're gonna have some that's gonna slip in
Not
there.
a truck stop.
Several, more than several times a year, on the weekends and all, that Tanger Boulevard is bottlenecked anyways. It can get horrendous bottlenecked.
Every day it is, every day it
How many
is.
times you go to Spencer, a tractor-trailer getting decent fuel to go to Spencer home? And this is designed for cars and pickups.
Sullivan and them wires it out.
The way I see it, a smart truck driver ain't gonna pull up in there anyway. He's not gonna put himself up in there.
I don't think much of them will.
It's a little difficult to make that route.
They don't
and-
wanna kill time, they don't wanna waste time. If it's an emergency, yeah, they'll pull up in there, you know? But I don't see where it's gonna be a problem.
I'm just real concerned, because if now, the way the traffic is going up and down 441 and turning Tanger Outlet, if you got 3 trucks in there at one time, back to back, you'd have a catastrophe down there.
You mean on Tanger Boulevard?
On the corner of Tanger and 441 there. Because now, we average 4 and 5 accidents a day down there now with just vehicles.
Right.
And I'm just concerned that with 18-wheelers coming in and out there, I just don't think, I don't think it would work. I really don't.
So we provide for stacking of different sizes of vehicles. We can stack from the fueling position out to the road, how many, 4?
Here, probably 2, I would say. Well, 1,
3.
3.
3, and that's by 4 lanes, that's 12 vehicles. That's a lot. We don't see that type of activity in these small locations like this that we have built elsewhere. We don't see that type of activity in any location.
Well, I think what he's saying is at the red light there,
If
if you start promoting tractor trailers,
Backing
then
up.
it's gonna be them turning left in there.
Because I live down there, and I go down there every day. And during the week, there's continuous traffic, and every day it's getting larger. And I'm just concerned about 18-wheelers. As far as the fueling station for cars and trucks, small trucks and pickup truck, I wouldn't have an issue, but with 18-wheelers coming in there, the large trucks, I just don't see how it would work down there. That's just my feelings, because
So I think to the degree that I can address that, Georgia Department of Transportation has, I think, taken that in consideration while building the road and the turn lane into Tanger Boulevard at the traffic light, because they've provided additional stacking that what's there now today.
Have you seen the new Tanger reroute from GDOT at the,
We saw the latest one, but that's about the 3rd one we've seen, so
it's been going on
You
for
know,
a
whether
while
it's-
now.
So
actually accurate or not,
So cars and trucks have to exit, if they're going north, they can't make a left-hand turn out of Tanger Boulevard to continue
That's the
north.
way it original was. Everything's gonna be a right-hand turn, going all the way down and coming back.
Correct.
Everything would be a right-hand turn.
And the new road exiting this property would have, if a truck, let's say of any type, needs to go northbound on 441,
They'd have to come out right and go down and turn and come back.
they will have to, if I may approach the bench, they'll have to come out this driveway and continue. The new road is going to be built approximately where that driveway is, headed north to the traffic light that's further north. So all the traffic headed north is going to be away from the intersection, and it's going to go further north to the traffic light.
Well, that has even changed, because originally, that road was supposed to have been built first before they did the median. Well, now it's been put on the back burner, and they're gonna do the median first, is all the last information I got. So that road's not gonna be there to help now.
it'll eventually be there,
Maybe
but it's
eventually,
not
but
gonna
we
be
don't
there in the
know
next
when.
month or 2.
I mean, now all of that would have to turn right and then come back out and turn on 441 again at that light, at the new light, you say.
And so there seems to be maybe some miscommunication, because last week when we were there, and with all due respect, when we were at the District 1 offices last week, and we looked at the road plan specifically on this site with the engineers for GDOT, and that road was shown as being built as part of this entire project. I can't address, if that leg is specifically a couple of months before or after, but it seems that it is a fully funded program, and it's all part of the entire plan.
They've let the median out, so,
So it's gonna be first. now.
Well,
And
from
originally, the
Walmart
other-
to 85 is gonna be first, and then when they do the other section,
Let's see,
last I
originally,
heard, they were gonna
it's that
start,
other road coming out on.
They were gonna
Fulton Road
start
down
Tanger
where
at
the
the same
light
time.
was, and all that would have been, but now, we don't know when that's gonna be done.
that and Tanger's gonna be done about the same time. But of course, now, they did, I think, put it off, because we did ask them not to do it during the holiday season.
That's right, yeah,
So I kinda have a feeling come January, they're gonna
on the median part.
start back.
Well, but I just don't think we can have 18-wheelers coming in and coming out now and going on 441.
I'm like him, I don't see a lot of trucks coming in and out of there by.
I don't either.
Because most of you larger companies, it might be some local folks, whatever. But what I'm getting at with him, if they encourage, they're not encouraging, from what I understand, 18-wheelers come in there. If you guys put in there, no 18-wheelers, sign up, and try to discourage them that way. I know you won't be able to stop them from coming in, but there again, you're looking at, extra traffic. I don't see, I see more smaller vehicles coming in than the larger ones. Because the fuel discounts, y'all don't have, like Love's has the TA, the Petro. Some companies get 30-40 cents a gallon off, plus your reward card from the driver. I got a pocket full of them.
I agree. Yeah, this is not, the point is the traffic, we talked about, we do have a prototype that is a travel center for semis, and this is not it, like John said, those are larger sites, this is a very small site. Absolutely no parking, no sitting idle, get in fuel, if there's, there will be a car behind you, you want to run to the store, go use the facilities, buy a drink, and leave. That's all this site is supposed to do, and mainly focus is to separate the trucks from the front canopy to the back so that it's not so crowded.
And
Once they put that in, it's gonna be.
I'd like to
it's on the way
also
back on.
point out that, for whatever it's worth, a tractor trailer could pull into one of to our store
It's
right
gonna
now
up
and
here.
fuel up.
It's gonna have to come
Is
up
it practical to do that? No. Is it enjoyable for a tractor trailer driver to come into a small lot like that? I'm sure they want a more open field, and this is a pretty tight site, it's pretty small. I think what we're providing with the county is probably a better presence than the operation that's there, and it'll be nicely landscaped. And we really are not able to control, if we have a sign that discourages trucks, we're not able to control it, and then if at some other point in time, it's tried to be enforced by, let's say, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 1 year from now, by somebody at the county, and we have to shut down operation, we're not investing $7 or $8 million to have it shut down. That would be a huge risk.
I don't have any more questions.
Y'all got any more? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody here to speak in favor of it? Hearing none, anybody, you're in favor of it?
I'm neither, but can I?
Well, it's either for or against.
Well, all right. Barbara Lindorm, 980 Bennett Road. It sounds like it's inherently designed to not be a truck stop. However, there's something blocking it that would make it an easy no, like the 18-wheelers. But just observing the dialogue, it seemed like it centered around the sign and enforcement, from what I could hear. food for thought is that, well, if the sign can't read no 18-wheelers, can the signage be something that is, 10 wheels or less? And would that make
If
any
you
sort
heard
of?
me, that was what I
No,
said.
yeah, like, I mean, it seems like it was a much easier decision, and I was also at the planning meeting, and it seems like it's a very different situation, I think, from a community perspective, if it's got the certainty around it being 10 wheels or less. 18-wheelers is what really changes it. And I don't understand why they wouldn't put up a sign that says, no 18-wheelers, but if there's something wrong with having it saying no 18-wheelers, can the signage be that the place is designed for 10 wheels or less? And does that help the situation or the enforcement of it? And at what point, if something's supposed to be, an operation that's for 10 wheels or less, and there's a sign there that says 10 wheels or less, but then suddenly truckers are violating that, at what point does that become like a traffic violation? Don't know. Then that's just food for thought. I'm very much not in favor of the 18-wheeler scenario. Thank you.
My name is Will Cobb, Norton Agency, professional address 434 Green Street, Gainesville, Georgia. I've represented Racetrack for at least 15 to 17 years. They're the second privately largest held company in Georgia. They've got a great reputation. You can go to any of their stores and everybody likes them. When my wife travels on the road, probably like your wives, and probably you guys, you like to pick a place that has consistency, right? It's gonna be well lit. They've got 27 cameras outside. They give away free donuts to the police, to the first responders, excuse me. Hadn't planned on speaking tonight. But they get free coffee, so there are always police on site. All the first responders, they do a great job. They do a great job for the community. We've had an eyesore here with that hotel sitting there, and I think some people at the county have said before that there was transients living there, bus stop was stopping there, all that kind of stuff. This is a chance to clean that up. They do a great job. We're in, God, how many states right now? 12 states. Typically, when we come into a community, everybody looks at it as a good thing. Landscaping, average on just a regular store, just without a,
Just wrap it up.
it's over $300,000. So, take a look at it. Mr. Patel's planning on rebuilding the hotel. That's the plan. So, what can we do that's good for the community, really, long term? Thank you.
Thank you. Any more for? For? I'm asking the for side, so if you're for it, you can speak. Anybody else? All right, against?
Jody Parks, 2051 Highway 63. I'm totally agreeing with y'all about the 18-wheelers. I think it would cause a quagmire there. But it seems like the height of the canopy could determine whether or not 18-wheelers would be able to get in there. Is there a way that you could lower the height of the canopy? So you can't do that?
Box trucks
Okay,
is just
that
as
was
high.
just,
Or the same height.
okay. Okay, that was just the question I wanted to see if it could be lowered. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
I see where they come from, they're not advertising, they're not wanting the truck. Like Jim said, he said, if we put a sign up, how are we gonna enforce it? We got no two truck signs down there, how can we enforce it?
But even if y'all stick the sign up like our planning asking, we're asking for, and you build, you will be grandfathered in. As far as somebody changing the code saying we're enforcing it, da. Once you build, you were grandfathered in. Am I not right? Huh?
If we change code, they absolutely will be.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But the thing you gotta remember is, this condition is just for racetrack.
Right.
If they sell,
Right.
the condition
Goes
doesn't
away.
stay.
That is my point. If you put the sign up, it's just saying you are not advertising for them, but he made a point and said, well, in years to come, what if zoning does this and that? It can't.
Oh, you're grandfathered in.
You will be grandfathered in.
Is there any more against?
Follow me? No?
Hang on.
Greg Jewell, 116 Walker's Way. I hadn't planned on speaking tonight. I kind of thought this is the way it would go, but there's entirely too many trucks right there. There's nothing, you're not going to stop 18-wheelers from going in there. It doesn't take DOT and a lot of engineers and scientific stuff to figure out. Good common sense tell you that just isn't the right place for that. If it was just going to be for cars and stuff of that nature, I don't have a problem with it. Just like as it was stated with the planning and zoning, I didn't have a problem with it. This I got a problem with, and I think it'll cause us a lot of problems. I hope y'all will look into it and decide to vote against it as well. As far as they said, if I'm not mistaken, planning and zoning said that they wouldn't have high volume pumping, and now they're saying they are. It just sounds like a bait and switch to me, and I just want to say I'm against it. Thank you.
I think what she said was that they would have high flow, but they would not have ultra high flow, which is what, isn't that what 18-wheelers, they have ultra high flow?
Yeah, right.
So they said it would be high flow, but not ultra high flow. So, anybody else against?
Y'all not gonna sell DEF at pump either, correct? DEF is not gonna be at pump, it'll still be sold by boxes.
So many vehicles do take DEF so we do sell, when we sell diesel, we do sell DEF.
I think it's in a box though, when I've been in there, it's not the,
Sometimes we do, and most of the time we do on our stores that have a diesel canopy, we do have that ability to pump that as well. If I could address, when you're finished, if
yeah,
I may
whenever we
address
get
an
done with
enforcement
the
issue.
against. Anybody else against? Hearing none. Don't sit down.
Thank you very much for the debate on this. It's lively, it's spirited, and I appreciate the time to really think through this. So as far as the enforcement goes, having a sign on the property is one thing, and if it's a discouragement, it's a discouragement. But whenever there's a sign on the property, it comes in the question of what is the enforcement of it. Stop sign is enforced by law. If this is written in our code conditions, it will be enforceable at some point in time by the county when it's adopted. So what we would fear is that at some point in time, it is truly enforced. And if there is a semi that's parked there fueling, or a group of them, at some point in time, what does the enforcement look like? Is it a shutdown of the center? Is it a fine? Is it a ticket? Is it a slap on the wrist, or is it something worse? So not knowing that and not really completely understanding that, this is a huge risk for us to undertake. And again, I appreciate the thoughtfulness to try to make it work, but have a discouragement for semis. But I don't understand how it could be not enforced potentially by the county there, and we would not be able to accept that for the reason that it costs a lot of money to build these things, and if there's a risk that we would be fined or shut down or something like that in the future, it's too much of a risk to bear.
I kind of think what we'd be looking at is, obviously, you can put signage up. Some of them are not going to follow it, and some are going to go in there. But I think if it turns into where and none of us with diesel trucks can get in because tractor trailers, then I think it becomes an issue. But obviously, you're not gonna stop every one of them from coming in there. I mean, if you had one or two a day come in there, I don't think that's that, I mean, you're not gonna stop every one of them, but if it becomes where every aisle's occupied by tractor trailers, I think at that point, there's gonna be some traffic issues going on there. Maybe not on y'all's, because you'll have enough for them to pull in, but I think pulling in through that red light right there, I mean, I go back to 10-wheelers with what was proposed to the planning, or less. Y'all have any more questions for them?
I don't.
Well, let me ask one more question, to go back to 10-wheeler, what if, Mr. Cash comes up with his skid steer behind his dump truck, his 10-wheel dump truck, and he
It's-
needs fuel for his dump truck and his skid steer?
It's still, it's 10-wheel with a trailer,
So that would be permissible?
yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything else? Not, I'll close the public hearing and open up the regular meeting again. Y'all got any more discussion, questions?
So y'all were saying y'all will not put the sign up, right? Under no conditions.
I believe because we would not be able to enforce that sign, and it would not be possible to, we could put the sign up, but we can't enforce it. And the risk,
We understand that.
sorry?
We understand you cannot enforce it. It's more or less kind of a good gesture saying that you're not promoting. Yeah, you were trying to discourage, and like I said, under a conditional use, it doesn't matter later on, 10, 15 years down the road, your zoning laws cannot be changed where it affects you as a business, because you will be grandfathered in. Because you're asking for a conditional use.
May I ask then if that's the case, that language can be added to the condition to say something to the effect that it is only for the purpose of discouraging the vehicles from being there, but it won't be enforceable by the county? In terms
I
of,
think we can put it in that I don't know that I want to put it that, the thing I worry about is if it's not, I don't necessarily want to put 18-wheelers prohibited or nothing like that, but I think it needs to be to where it's kind of 10 wheels or less. But I think we'd have a problem if it ended up turning into, one of us couldn't go in there and get fuel to our diesel trucks because, and I mean, we're talking pickup trucks, because it's plugged up with 18-wheelers all the time. I think there's got to be some kind of honest effort to try to discourage them. I know you can't stop everybody. I mean, we put speed limit signs up all over the place, and, you know, it's people don't necessarily follow them all the time or know through trucks, but I think there needs to be some kind of concerted effort that, you know, in good faith, we're trying to discourage from them coming in here.
and again, I appreciate the effort to try to figure this out. Again, it's an open driveway. It can't, we wouldn't be able to control it. And we wouldn't be able to control if there's one semi or 10 waiting to come in. The only thing that I can suggest at this point is if the board would consider language with the condition where racetrack would not be, A, you couldn't close the center, B, there's no fines involved with it. It would just be a practice of using some effort to we'll put the sign up, but there would be some practice to discourage.
I think there need to be effort on both sides. We couldn't just sit there all the time and try to run them. I think y'all would also need to have some skin in the game that, look, you know, this is for 10 wheels or less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
so-
I
Yeah. and
hope what you're not trying to do is trying to get us to accept 10 wheelers and then turn around and, oh, it's okay if
Yeah,
it's
we don't want
nothing
that.
but
Yeah,
tractor
we don't
trailers
want that.
come in there.
Right. We don't want that to happen. And I respectfully submit this to the council that if there's any kind of need for enforcement to regulate that, we will not be able to do that. And it will end up being a really bad problem for both sides later on. But again, I appreciate the effort by council to try to work that out.
Do you want to table it and wait and sit down and work out something with them?
No, I don't think there's no.
I think Randall could come up with some kind of language and we could try to discuss it. I see his point.
Yeah, I do too. I wouldn't want to spend 7 or 8 million, but at the same time, we don't want to turn this into a nothing but 18-wheeler. I do agree with the landscaping, and y'all did say y'all were going to do it. Staying in contact with the DOT, I don't want to put that in there because it's obvious it's got to happen because their driveway's got to go on the DOT. They're going to work with them. I mean, and we're going to, and in their scope of things, they didn't have anything about showers, waste stations. They've said it several times. I mean, we got to accept the plan that they've given us. 3 lanes with 3.5 pumps. And so I think the thing we got to work on is on the 18-wheelers. I'm just wondering if we can try to get Randall to draw something up that's compatible to both sides.
Let Randall get with their legal side and see what, here he comes back.
I mean,
We'd be willing to, do whatever.
Work on that.
Yeah, I mean, if the county's willing to work on something, at the end of the day, we may not be able to arrive at a solution, but we're certainly willing to roll our sleeves up and figure something out.
I think this is a sticking point. We want to make sure that as few 18-wheelers go in there as possible, but y'all want to be assured that we're not going to shut you down because it's full.
For some reason, let's say, everyone was out of fuel but you, huh? See? And-
That's kind of a
Hey, that
different
can happen,
situation.
y'all. I've seen it happen to me.
It can happen.
Put a sign up, there's no run break anywhere.
Yeah. No vacancy for 18.
Come on, can't read that.
They read vacancy.
I can ask the council, at your suggestion, what would you suggest the process to be at this point? Would it be a condition, an approval with condition that we're working out something with your legal counsel on that, or a tabling for further consideration, or how would, if you could?
I would,
listen to
that's
that.
kind of where I was getting to with it. I'm thinking that we could probably have this thing done by the first meeting in January, because it's gonna take some work on Randall's side to get with y'all's and to figure out what's compatible, and then I'd kinda like it to where all of us could see it and we could live with it, and then it would just be I mean, I don't know, whether, it's something we could pass pending our approval on consensus between commissioners and racetrack. Go ahead.
I was just gonna bring this up. I've got some other stuff going with Randall, and I was told today he's broken some ribs and.
Yeah, but
Everything's
we're
been
still
out of the office
talking
a
with
little,
him.
so I
He's
just-
working from home,
Yeah, I didn't know
so.
if there was some timing on that.
Yeah.
Just- I didn't
Yeah,
know.
that's the reason he's not here tonight, but he's still working from home. You ain't gonna keep
Yeah, we
him
got some
down.
emails today, but I just didn't know.
Yeah, he's
Things
still,
were going.
Again, we'd be willing to, work with him on trying to come up with some language
that-
about that, I guess.
Well,
Something y'all
the
good
only
with?
problem I have with this is the 18-wheelers. And if there's some,
Coming down there, going over into Jackson County.
well, but I don't want them, I just don't think the traffic on that intersection can handle that. And that's the way I feel right now. But if there's something you could do to stop, or we could do to control,
discouraged.
Discouraged.
and I would probably be okay. But I'm just not convinced that that is not gonna be a severe traffic problem with 18-wheelers coming in.
Well, how about this?
I'm down there every day. I'm at racetrack at least twice a week getting gas for my vehicles. And I like the operation, I like everything there, but I'm concerned about the 18-wheeler traffic volume. And that's, I'd just like to get satisfied in my mind that it's the right thing to do. And,
Well, that's what I'm trying to, if he'll get done babbling.
When I talk
How-
Bible, when you talk, you don't. Is that-
Well, it was kept on and on and on, so, I mean, I know you all go down there, so. I'd like to make a motion to accept the conditions that they have presented with the addition of, landscaping, and then the condition that the commissioners, with all five approval, and racetrack on some kind of agreement on the discouragement of 18-wheelers coming in there.
Can I,
Mhm.
we got this right, so in reference to the planning commission recommendation, what are you saying?
The only one there is that, the landscaping, because, I mean, the plans are for the 3 aisles. I mean, I think if we stick with the plans they've got, they don't have any showers, no way stations, no parking spaces, in their plans, so it's pretty much a conditional use is we accept the plans that they've got, and they don't have any of that in there, and if they ever decided to do it, then it'd have to come back in front of the board, so.
Basically, you're taking their number 5, condition number 5.
Yes. And then we're trying to work out the number 3.
3. Through legal advice on it. From each side.
That was motion.
I'll say.
I made the motion, Bo seconded it. Y'all got anything y'all want to add, subtract, take away? Danny?
No.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next thing up is number 8. We received a letter of resignation from Martha Threet, Board of Tax Assessors. She has 2 years left on the term, and we hadn't really had anybody yet, but this is for 2 years, and then, I mean, it requires a week of training to start out with, and I think a week of training every 2 years, so it's pretty good commitment. But I'd personally like to thank Martha for serving on that for probably 10 years, I guess. She has been a real good asset.
She's done a real good job.
Yep, she sure has. Jenny. Whoop, sorry. We don't really have anybody. The next one is Chesadee Chattahoochee RC&D, 1-year term. Sammy's one of them and I'm one of them.
I know, Keith.
I'll second that. So we got nomination of Keith. Any more discussion? I second it. Danny made the motion and I second it. Sammy? Aye.
Aye.
The next one is for my term.
Make a motion to go back on.
Second.
Got a motion by Sammy and a second by Danny from me. Any discussion? Keith? Abstain.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the next one is the joint development, Jimmy Morrison. I'll make a motion to put Jimmy back on there.
Second.
And a second by Sammy. Any discussion? Aye.
Aye.
The next one is Sammy. We need somebody to replace him. Anybody want to do it?
Danny, you want to?
No, not on that one.
Be a good
Is
job
it-
for
is
you,
it
Bo.
bigger?
No, this is the joint. For Howard County Road.
It,
Oh, I'll do
it
that.
doesn't meet but about once every blue moon.
Yeah.
Danny, all right. I'll second. Who made the motion? Keith. Keith made the motion, I second it. Any discussion, Bo?
Aye.
I abstain.
Aye. Georgia Mountain, GMRC.
No, community.
No, it's Community Service Board. Sorry about that. We got Sammy. We'll have to have somebody to replace them.
I'm making a motion to go get,
How often they meet?
when they say so.
When they say so?
So, second.
I think isn't that the one they kind of Zoom now too? I think they Zoom that one.
You usually have one meeting a year. You have to go
Where at?
to meeting where.
Rayburn County, usually.
Big
Rayburn County, yeah. That's fine.
All right, we got a,
Father point.
I think Sammy made the motion, Keith seconded it. Is that correct? Any discussion? Danny?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Yep, that was Garrison.
They railroaded me.
Next, the Recreation Board, to fill out the unexpired term of Ashley Hancock. I'll make a motion, Will Gordon.
Second.
Well, I made the motion, Danny, I'm sorry. Danny made the second. Any discussion? Sammy? Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we get to the alcohol license. I think I need to kind of,
You got,
Mr. Chairman,
oh, yeah, Vice Chairman. All right, we got the Vice Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'll let Danny serve on it again, so Danny's done a good job, and I think it's,
I second it, Keith.
All right, we got Keith made the motion and Bo second for Danny Maxwell to be Vice Chairman. Any discussion? Keith? Aye.
Aye.
abstain.
You got it one more year, Dano.
I'll do it.
All right, on the alcohol license, you've got a list of them. We've got, the state started the process this year of doing the license, and then after they fill out with the state, then they come to us, pay us, notify the state, and then they have to get fingerprints. We have Racetrack that serves beer package, wine package, and we have Cracker Barrel that serves beer consumption and wine consumption. Those two have already got everything done, fingerprints, whole 9 yards. So I need a motion to accept those two that are already done.
Second.
Got a motion by Sammy, I think, second by Danny, is that right? Aye.
Right.
Aye.
All right, we have, as far as package, we have Diamond Exxon, and all of these are package, beer and wine. Diamond Exxon, Commerce Food Mart, Royal Food Mart, Patel's Grocery, Homer Grocery, Walmart, and Lucky. Now, those have filled out everything. The only thing we're waiting for is them to come back and go get fingerprints. Now, do we want to make a motion to accept them once they do the fingerprint background checks and are cleared?
Yeah.
All right, I got a motion by Keith and
How long are you gonna give them to get it done?
well, they got till January 1st, so they better get on it.
You sell if they don't have it.
Yep,
January 1st, you said 31st, you said 1st.
December 31st.
Okay.
Yeah,
January 1st, they won't have a license.
right.
So, let's see.
Pending.
It was Keith and then you. All right. Keith and then Danny. You get that? Bo?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. The next group has also done everything but the fingerprints. Blazers is for beer consumption. And that next one, it's the one behind Starbucks. I ain't even gonna attempt to say it. It's beer consumption.
What's the name of it, Charles?
I don't care, I'll butcher it.
Come on.
Let's go.
Applebee's is beer consumption, wine consumption, and liquor. Longhorns is beer, wine, and liquor. And Koji's is beer, wine, and liquor. And Sonny's is beer, wine, and liquor. I need a motion to accept them pending they get the fingerprint and background check done. So what was the name of that first one, Bo?
Your head's even showing red on the screen. I made it turn.
No.
I'll make a motion to accept it. I made the motion, Keith seconded. Any discussion? Dano?
Aye.
Aye.
I had a good laugh.
And just for the record, they have been sent a letter, they have been contacted by Four Way Store, Fuddruckers, La Hacienda, Munoz BP, Pizza Hut, Soul Garden, and TA. None of those have filled out anything, so don't know where they're going with that. But anyhow, just clarify, they have not.
Wasn't nothing to vote on then.
Well, no, they ain't nothing to vote on that. I was just gonna say that, just so we could say that,
Code enforcer have a good January.
Yeah, they have a
one,
good
won't they?
job on it.
yep. All right, next up was the gravel bid. We had one bid, Triple H. They bid $5.99 a ton to haul gravel. Need a motion to accept.
So move.
Got a motion by Bo, second by, was that Danny? Any discussion? Sammy? Aye.
Aye.
All right, roads and bridges, we need the authorization to put out RFP for, it's LMIG money, 2023 LMIG money for Hickory Flat Road. Do you have the exact numbers, or
The LMIG amount would be $485,000.
485,000, and then we have to come up with the other 30%?
Would be $145,000. And then,
That'll come out of roads and bridges.
Let me ask a question on these bids. Is on Hardin Bridge Road, has everything been stipulated in there about clearing those roots out.
Well, we haven't got the RFP, but
Well, we-
the intent is, probably the cheapest thing to do is when we can get somebody like Luke or somebody like that to come in there and actually patch it this winter,
Yeah,
and then their job will be to
take the roots.
take, not the roots, but other sprawling and stuff, and the bid package. We'll have to look at the bid package, but this is simply to put it out there, but the plans are to get all that cut and patched.
Okay,
So hopefully they won't be growing up there, because that one and the other one here at Marsh Gardner, that's the two worst ones we got.
yeah, because if we don't
Do I-
clear that out,
Yeah. But all that'll be done, but yeah, that's the plan
'cause
to
if we
do
don't,
that.
it's no sense in paving.
But,
Same thing's gonna happen.
we're gonna see if we can do that during the winter to expedite, instead of doing it when the weather's warm where they can be paving. I'll make a motion.
Second.
A second by Danny. Any more discussion? Keith? Aye.
Aye.
Next is a request for RFP for Industrial Boulevard, Hardin Bridge, Morse Gardner, Anthony Lane, and West Ridgeway. Now, West Ridgeway, Jackson County did theirs to the line. And then, of course, if Maysville wants to go in, then it'll be Maysville on up. So I really think we're looking at about 1.5 miles
For us.
for us.
Gotcha.
Got a motion by Keith, second by Bo. Any more discussion? Aye.
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 Next up is Chief. Come and enlighten us.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
I thought I was last, but Harsh beat me up.
Long time no see.
I know, I've been good.
But we'll
hadn't I?
pay the price tonight, though, won't we?
Yes, sir, you are. It's all on the list here. Okay, the first item is the Forestry Service Grant. We apply for it each year. It's a 50/50 grant that we get from forestry. It's up to $10,000. With the amount that we requested this year, our portion of that would be $5,187.72. It hasn't been approved yet. This is just giving us approval to move forward should we receive the grant itself.
This is to ratify signature,
Right.
which is, he's got a list of all that he's doing. I got a motion by Bo,
Second.
got a second by Danny. Any more discussion? Bo?
Aye.
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 Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
next up is the truck.
In the SPOS money, we asked for 2 additional pickup trucks for the staff functions. We're now requesting to move forward with those and purchase those 2 trucks. When we incorporated a training officer position back at the first of the budget, it was approved. And we were asked then to hold off on getting them a vehicle until the SPOS was available. So that's what we did. And that's why we're asking for the 2 now.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Does this amount include extended warranty?
That amount includes a warranty of 3 years, 36,000 miles, bumper to bumper, 5 years, 100,000 miles on the drivetrain. The additional, what they offer, because it's considered a commercial vehicle, because it's assigned to the government. If you went to the extended warranty, we could get a bumper to bumper coverage for 3 years, 100,000 miles, for additional $4,750 because it's commercial.
Did you say 3 years and 100,000 miles?
Yes.
We don't ever put that on there.
So
3
my
years.
thing, I guess my thing is, we're already getting 5 years, 100,000 miles on a drivetrain. That's where we always have our problems, is with transmissions and motors. So I think the warranty that we're getting for the initial price is probably the best.
My only thing is, I don't mind getting one, but we just have started this SPLOST. And I'm worried that in 2 or 3 years, we're gonna be needing another one. I'd kinda prefer to buy one now and one then, because the other ones are still running. I know one of them's on its
Yeah,
last leg, but.
Our Chevrolet that we're using now every day has got
but I could
300,000
see
miles on it.
replacing it, but the
And
other
it's
ones
20 model.
are still pretty good shape. Oh, that Chevrolet's about wore out, and I don't mind replacing it because it is about wore out.
Well, let me ask something, Steve.
Yes, sir.
As far as price-wise, what is everyone else saying on your price and all? Is it
I
way
actually,
under, is it way in line?
I actually questioned the prices on it because Ford's pretty much cut out their incentives now, like everybody else has. I called 2 other dealerships and both of them said that they couldn't touch that price. They said, because they actually gave us $2,500 off the list price for those vehicles through, the Ford place in Royston. All of them said they could do $750, $1,000, but they couldn't touch $2,500. So that was the best price we came up with, was Hartwell Ford.
What about the leftover 21?
Hadn't found any anywhere.
If you buy one truck, is that gonna take care of your training personnel?
Yes, sir. One truck will take care of the training.
Or do you need two trucks?
What it won't leave is anything spare. So if we tear up anything, somebody in staff, if the captain's truck breaks, somebody in staff would have to give them their vehicle to drive, and we'd just be either using a taxi or Uber.
I just think the Chevrolet is the one that's wore out. They've got 2 fairly new pickup trucks already.
How old your other ones?
We got one is a 19, which the captains use, and it's got 80,000 on it now. And then that's the one that would go as a spare truck, basically, to be used when one of the others were down.
If you wait 3 years, probably be up $15,000.
I don't know.
Or more?
May be up, it may be less.
I think, I mean, I guarantee they'll be up 10,000 anyway.
If not
Holding
more.
off on one,
Huh?
talking about holding off
No,
on
I'm
one.
talking about buying both of them now and get
That's
it
what
over
I'm
with.
saying.
Yeah.
You looking at F-50 four-wheel drive,
Yes, sir, F-50 four-wheel drive crew cabs.
how much equipment you haul on them trucks?
We've got a rollout rack that goes in the back of it, and it carries some extra air packs, some extrication equipment, that type of stuff on it.
It's not much weight.
No, it's not a heavy weight.
It ain't gonna work.
What
Yeah.
about the Rangers, four-wheel Rangers,
I don't know if they could be heavy enough.
if they load up or not?
They ain't proved them to me, it's, they ain't been out long enough.
So those trucks actually do have the V8s in them too, the 5.0s.
5.0.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We found those hold up a lot better for us.
I am like Sammy. I'd like to just buy.
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and buy the 2 of them. I ain't gonna go off and leave nobody need nothing.
I second it.
You making
Got a motion by Sammy, a second by Bo. Any more discussion?
Vote. Aye.
Time vote, Danny?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
His
next
fa-
is
his head didn't
training
turn too
Moodle.
red.
Boy, it hurt me bad right there.
It didn't turn too
He
red.
got poked bad. Sammy poked him on the last meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy.
That's wrong.
You made me turn red.
Okay.
I'm gonna remind you in 3 years, I'm gonna call you when he comes up wanting another truck in 3 years.
And I'm gonna remind you when it's $80,000 too, we should've bought.
Nah, I'm gonna remind you when they go back to state discounts and we can get it for about
That
30,000.
ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah, state don't run them.
I got some.
Go ahead, Moodle. Moodle us away.
Love to.
Okay, currently, we're using a training program for the internet that we push out to people, which saves us tremendous overtime, not having to bring our people in on their days off to be trained. they have to meet X amount of hours, 240 hours in fire, and an additional 40 hours in EMS, which paramedics have to meet additional 60 hours in EMS. And we can do a majority of this training over our internet process. We push it out to the stations and they train that way. We were currently using a system piggybacking off of Hall County called Moodle. Hall County is shutting that down come the first of the year. So they won't be supplying us with Moodle anymore. So it's up to us now to continue to push those programs out through the internet service like we're doing, or we can go back to paying the extra overtime coming in. Overtime, you're looking at $15,000, $20,000 a year. We found a program through Vector Solutions, it's called Target Solutions. It's designed for fire and EMS. We can push out all of our training needs to our personnel like we have been doing. The cost of the first year of that's going to be about $6,000. The second year, when we go into it, the final phases, which will be a full year, because we're only doing the partial year from January to end of June. Next budget, we'll be looking at about $8,400 to continue that program. We have funds in our training program this year. We've moved some things around so we can cover with the current budget we got on the remainder of this year. So we're asking for approval for the $6,330 a night out of our current budget to apply this system and start it up.
And with the extra training that the state's requiring, you about got to do that or you're not gonna.
They're killing us on training. This training will be available for all of our personnel, part-time, full-time, volunteers, the whole 9 yards.
That's the reason I'm retiring.
It is. It's a
Moodle.
real word,
Yeah.
Moodle training.
Moodle. I'll make a motion to accept it. I made the motion. Sammy second. Any discussion? Sammy? Aye. I guess, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Next up would be Horace. Come talk to us about air compressor.
Ready to go to a basketball game.
Don't hurt us quite as bad as he did now, Horace.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I was talking to Charles earlier today. We've been having issues with our compressor, which is what we use to do our bores underneath the state and county highways. And ours has been in the shop more than we've had it the last year, seems like. And I've been renting a unit on and off to get jobs done, and I got so many on backlog right now. We've been installing meters that we could side tap. But now we've got a lot of, actually I've got 5 customers that would like to be in their house before Christmas, but their taps is requiring bores and I don't have a compressor to do it. Actually I do. I rented one today from Coker, a 400 series, 400 CFM. What we have here at the county is a 185, and it's really, we've sort of figured this out that it's a little too small to do the job, to do the bores through the rock base and the clay base that we have here. And I think it's just sort of worn itself out. It only has like 500 hours on it. And like I say, it's been an issue for the last couple years. And, but I looked at some prices today on a 400, a 350 or 400 CFM. And new ones run somewhere around in the $70,000 range. And but I've checked in several places and think we could get a good used unit that's a diesel powered compressor tag along for somewhere in the $25,000 range that would meet our needs for a long period of time, being a Cummins diesel engine. And just wanted to get your approval so that I could be a little bit more intuitive with the companies where I've been talking with the reps to try to get us a replacement.
I talked to one contractor. He kind of liked Ingersoll Rand and said it's easier to get parts for. So I'd kind of like to give Horace the authority to look around with 25,000 or less, see if we can get a used unit. And of course, you know, as soon as if he finds one that they like and lets me know, I'll email all of y'all, and then that way at least we'll, you know, if you see any problem with it, but instead of just
This way we
looking
can
at
move
one,
on
at
it,
least
because
he's
basically
kinda got some.
buying something used, you gotta, as you know, you gotta
Buy it
gotta
when
move
you get it.
quickly. So
Yeah.
having an authorization like this, and using email to get, everybody's approval on it, then Randy and I can work out the.
Well, if it's one of them where it's pretty close, I'll call them, but, you know, if you find a group or something
Understand.
like that, but if you find
Yeah.
something, I'll give them all a call.
I'll second. Was that a motion?
I guess I can make a motion, yeah, I'll make a motion. And Danny seconded it for 25,000.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Keith? Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Before I adjourn, at this time, it's the last meeting for one of our members. I'd like to personally say I enjoyed the last 12 years, and I wish you all the luck, Sammy. And the commissioners got together and got a little money, so we figured we'd get you a little something you could eat on to keep your weight up. But I appreciate all you've done, all the help.
Hey, and you went out with a bang because you made his face turn. I appreciate that. You went out with.
I thought every now and then you had my back, but you didn't own this, and that fire chief let you do it.
Hey, me and you done good. I turned him red and you did too.
The boss lady wants you to stand up.
When Charles and Danny and I come in here, we inherited the situation we had. One rifle in the sheriff's department that was huge, 2 shotguns, every bulletproof vest was out of date, and they had 40 caliber handguns, which they wasn't supposed to have. And 2 tasers in the whole county. So, that's why, no, not many vehicles, and that's why I said to the chief, I don't want to leave somebody needs something, because if we done all that, it didn't go up on taxes.
Well, we also looked at the fire stations we built. We went through Narraband and 911.
That's over $2 million.
We built, bought 2 ladder trucks, well, platforms. We put in a lot of water line. And a lot of people think that water is not important, but you've got a lot of chicken houses that have to have municipality water because you never know what the well's gonna do.
All this water line kept with their ISO rating too.
And look at
Absolutely.
our roads.
And how much better our roads has got since, we've done a lot.
You told me 12 years ago that a taser, you could buy 45 caliber Glock and a AR-15 rifle cheaper than you can buy one taser.
You
I
say
said-
it's
I
crazy.
said you're lying, but they tell you the truth. The taser is expensive.
But we appreciate all the work you've done
Appreciate all y'all.
and wish you the best in the future. That being said, I need a motion to adjourn. We got a motion by Danny. You want to second that, Sammy, since it's your last second? I'll even let you start voting, Sammy. Aye. Aye. Enjoyed it.
We out of here.
Thank you very much.
Here, get your
Thank
candy.
you. I will.
Get your candy. Oh, here. Here. Damn. Give him one of them pecan. Give him the pecan. Here. Luann eat them. I made Daddy red too. I made. Daddy called me a a-hole. Pecans away.